Welcome to Holy Smokes and Dad Jokes. I'm Jonathan Pate, pastor, hope dealer, and part-time professional dad joke distributor. This is where faith meets real life and hope comes with a punchline. Let's laugh, grow, and find a little light in the middle of everyday life. Come for the hope, stay for the groan. All right, welcome to Holy Smokes and Dad Jokes. And today I got my brother from the same mother. This is my brother, Justin. Looks a little bit like Jesus, I'm told. So, Justin, welcome to the show.
They say I look like Jesus, but I think you probably act more like him.
Do you think we look alike?
I look a lot better. Does my hair look okay?
I mean, I would need a bigger nose. Yeah. I can't sing, so I'm a better golfer. You're a better musician. You were the baby of the family, so
apples and oranges.
You got your way. Do you remember when you was little? Well, no, you don't remember this. That's you didn't crawl on your feet. You like rolled around on your back.
Yeah, scoot on my back. I still do that.
You still do that at home?
I got hardwood floors, so it's easier to get around.
I don't even know how you describe it. He sort of just scrunched on his back. So, all right. So you know the rules of the show. You got to bring dad jokes. So,
okay.
Give me your best. What you got?
There's really not a good dad joke. They're all corny, but
we haven't had any good ones yet.
Yeah, that's true. So
right on par.
I used to know how to play the piano by ear, but I found it's easier to use your hands.
Okay. All right. That's on par with
what
April
is
there,
this is a good one. What is the only book of the Bible that's 80% truth?
I don't know.
Ruth.
It's missing the T.
It is.
It's not bad.
I give that
one an A.
Yeah, that's good. This was a good one. Okay. It's not really a dad joke. It's kind of a short story, I guess you'd say. So, long time ago, I was driving down the road and my car broke down right next to a monastery.
Okay.
So I get out and knock on the door. A monk comes to the door, and as monks do, he was super nice. He gave me something to eat, gave me a place to stay for the night while he fixed my car. Middle of the night, though, I kept hearing this really strange noise, and it bugged me. I couldn't even sleep. So the next morning I get up, I asked the monk, I said, "What's that noise?" And he says, "I can't tell you. You're not a monk." I said, "Okay, whatever." So I leave, go on my way. A couple years later, I find myself in the same spot, and I break down again. Same deal. I go to the monastery. I said, "Hey, it happened again." He said, "Don't worry, come on in." Fed me, gave me a place to sleep. Apparently, the monks are really good at fixing cars. So, and so same thing, middle of the night, this strange noise. And at this point, I was like, I got to find out what this is. So, wake up next morning, I ask him, he says, "I can't tell you, you're not a monk." So I said, "What does it take to be a monk?" He says, "All you got to do is count all the blades of grass in the entire world." I said, "I'm do it." So I go out 25 years later, I come back and I've got the number written down,
right?
And I give it to him. They said, "This is the blades of grass in the entire world." He said, "You are correct. You are now a monk. Let's go see that noise." And I said, "Thank goodness." So I go to this old wooden door, try to open, and it's locked. He laughs. He said, "Here, you got to have the key." So he gives me the key. I open the door, and behind that door, there's a stone door.
Okay.
I said, "There's another key?" He said, "Yep." So he pulls his key ring out, gives me another key, and opens it. Behind that door was a door of rubies.
Okay.
It's like, oh my goodness.
A door what?
Of rubies.
Rubies, okay.
Yeah, beautiful door. Gives me another key, open that one. And this goes on for like 12 doors. It was a door of jasper and emerald and a diamond and a gold door. Finally opened the last one. It's this old, just metal door.
Okay.
He said, "Last door." I said, "Thank goodness." Gives me the key. I slowly open. This time I've got to find out.
Right.
I open the door slowly. And there it is.
The door?
Inside the door with the noise, yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell you. You gotta be a monk. Yeah. You know what you gotta do, though. So.
Longest joke ever on the show.
I think it might be the best. I don't
It
really
was-
watch the show. I hadn't heard the other one. So.
It was good, just frustrating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We'll do this show again in 25 years.
Yeah.
We'll get I'll record the answer so y'all won't have to become a monk. What are your most memorable events growing up in our family? Justin's my only brother, 8 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So
I felt like I didn't have a really eventful childhood, but I was very sheltered. But I remember you dislocated my
I
hip.
did dislocate your
You
hip.
did. That was amazing. We were
Do
playing.
you remember everything about that?
Yes. We were playing the Nintendo. It was an Olympics Nintendo game.
Right.
And it
And
was
had the mat on the
mat
floor
you got to
with the-
run on, and we were running. And I didn't beat you at things often because you're 8 years older than me. If we were the same age, I probably could have had some more victories. But I beat you and was joking and gloating or whatever, and you picked me up and was going to body slam me on the bed. When you did, my hip was behind me and it just popped out of socket.
Broke his hip.
And so Mama and Papa lived right down the back alley where our house was, and I remember, and I think you don't remember this, but I think you were panicking.
Right, I was.
And you had a
panicking.
motorcycle, and I don't know if maybe you was thinking you was going to take me on the motorcycle, but you put your motorcycle helmet on and carried me down to their house. So I'm looking up at you and your motorcycle helmet on, just carrying me down to Mama and Papa's. But that was fun. And then Papa was going to attempt to put it back in place himself, and
so our papa, our grandfather, he didn't believe in going to the hospital for much, and so I do remember him. He's gonna put your hip back in place for you.
I screamed pretty loud, so he stopped.
I have a story about him. We're getting off on a sidetrack here, but when I was little, I remember stepping off of their porch onto like a 16 penny nail attached to a little wooden block, and it went through my foot.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm hollering and screaming, and mom carries me in the house. And Papa, I don't know if he got crowbars or something, but he got something and pulled that nail out. They were saying, we're going to the hospital. And he pulled that joker
He probably
out.
put some bull on it.
So I obviously remember dislocating your hip. I guess I've always been very competitive.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember it being over that Nintendo game.
Yeah, it was.
That sounds about right.
I won our last match.
You did. Well, I guess you'd say I won.
I went on the injured reserve.
You won the Nintendo game. I won the wrestling match.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, lots of golf. We used to play golf all the time. We don't get to play as much anymore, but I remember going to golf. Me and you and Dad and Larry or Dennis or Brian, and there was some good times. When Larry threw Brian out of the golf cart, that was really good. Seeing him roll down the hill. I think he might have said some unpastoral things.
So our dad had a heating and cooling business. I'm not sure why it didn't survive, seeing that we were playing golf.
That, and if we were not golfing, we were at Los Mexicanos.
That's right. We would. Every day was either let's go play golf half the day or let's go to Los Mexicanos.
Dad would talk the customer into letting us start the next day.
Yeah. Somehow that business didn't last.
Very strange.
I guess you've got to actually work hard to make it. Do you remember when you got saved, when you come to know the Lord?
You know, I'm pretty sure when I was born, I took my first breath and said the Lord's Prayer right after. Because, I mean, I don't remember. I grew up in church. I don't remember, probably got saved 150 times. But the only time that I can remember actually, actually going up and at an altar call and actually doing it was at JCA Chapel.
Yeah.
I remember Mr. Childress was preaching. And he's the only person I ever made a D in was his class. And it was sidetrack. It was my fault because wasn't that I didn't know the stuff. I just was lazy. And I remember the night before, I had a bug collection due and I had done nothing. And it was due the next day. And so we were taking down globes in the ceiling to
You
see
found
what
some
kind of.
bugs.
This is the West African gnat. So I made a 64 in that class, anyways. But he led me to the Lord.
That
Apparently,
sounds like that was grace, really.
yeah, it was.
To give you a
But yeah, I
64.
remember it was in chapel, and there was an altar call, and I might have already received the Lord at that time before that, but that's the only time that I can actually remember raising my hand and coming up front at church
Yeah.
and saying, asking God to come into my life. But
Right.
I think I've got saved another 150 times since then, too.
Do you remember when you got baptized?
Probably at brother, was it Bolt?
Yeah, the swimming pool.
I only got baptized because we got to swim afterwards. But yeah, but that's the only time I remember getting baptized. I loved baptisms.
I feel like we might need to rededicate Justin to the Lord today. I'll fill the baptistry up. I will say I feel that a little bit because growing up in church, sometimes like I do remember my getting saved when I was like 8. I do remember that, but I think it's probably different for people that didn't grow up in church, and there's like this huge dividing line between when I was an unbeliever and when I was a believer. Because growing up in our church, I mean, we was at church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday, sometimes Thursday night prayer meeting, and so you really were like a church member, and then at some point you got saved, and sometimes I feel that a little bit, but so. You got saved and you grew up. It took you a while to grow up. You was really, really little for a long. Like I remember in the 8th grade, like the basketball was bigger than you almost. But then you're probably the same height as me now. You shot up in a year or 2.
I'm taller than 5'8".
You are taller than 5'8".
I think I'm 5'9".
His nose is 5'8" by itself. 5'9". So I have an issue with Lee's measurement though, because I think I'm 5'10".
It's skewed.
So 2 inches, like that's.
I think we need to pull the tape.
We're gonna have a podcast and we'll get the measurement stick out and see where we are.
What's really is his torso is the same as everybody's. It's just from
somehow this has become a Lee show now.
This ain't it's supposed to be about me. Sorry. I love you.
Yeah. In our group text, it's always I think Lee and Justin get the most jokes about each other.
Popular.
So, yeah, the short jokes and the nose jokes.
Well, there's not a lot of jokes for Jonathan. It's just very boring.
Yeah, boring.
He's never sinned.
No, that ain't true. Trust me. And I think me putting on my motorcycle helmet to run to Papa, I don't know. I've always had a really bad. Like I forget the little things. If you've ever driven with me, I'll go right past where we're turning.
Many times. Sometimes I let you do it because I didn't want to go back to work. Just we're taking the long way.
And at work, I lose my cup. I lose it 8 times a day, and my staff will come and bring me my cup all day long. The other day, one of my staff ran to the road. I was pulling out onto the main road and looked back, and she was running behind the car, bringing me my cup. That I got good people that help me out. But that's sort of, I'm very absent-minded with the little things, but I've got so many other things in my head I can't keep up with.
Yeah, I'm the
everything.
same way.
But
especially at work.
I got plenty of faults. Trust me. Now my mom, I don't know. Mom's probably the best person I know. I don't know what you think. Like you just seems like.
Oh yeah, there's it's for sure. She's
feel like she's always in character and just overall. Yeah, Dad outkicked his coverage on that one. They locked eyes when they were 5 years old. We're gonna need to talk to Mom about that.
Yeah, I think she laughed at that probably.
So you how old were you when you went and pastored a church? For how old were you?
23, I think, or maybe 21.
So
maybe it's 21 to 23.
I think you were younger than when I was 25 when I started. I think you were younger than me when you started.
I'd have been 21.
Yeah.
No, because Noah was about to be born. 21, 23. I can't remember.
Still
I was
really
only there
young.
for like 2 years.
So it's 2 years. So what was that like?
It was rough. So I thought I started off preaching when I was 15. My first sermon went 5 minutes. Like, I tried my best in 5 minutes, and I got through all my notes, and I said, and that's all I got.
That's all I got.
I had a lot of the older ladies.
I think I remember that.
I had a lot of the bless him, Lords.
Bless him, Lord.
Bless him, Lord. Had a lot of those, and but yeah, so I started there. I got better, and but I felt like, you know, you were a pastor, and I always looked up to you, and thought, well, I'm gonna be a pastor. My grandfather was a pastor, and you're a pastor, and I think that's what I've got to do. And opportunity came up at Daystar, and at first, you know, I loved it. It was a lot. I wasn't ready. I'll say that. I wasn't ready
Neither was
for
I.
it. And I
Still
just,
not.
I had a problem between the difference between feeding the sheep and feeding myself. I spent all my time preparing sermons and what am I going to preach on? Because I did the same thing. I did Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night Bible study. And I lived in Chocolate Block. The church was passed between Jacksonville and Piedmont, so it was rough. And we had just had Noah, and so it was tough. And I got to the place where spiritually I was drained, burnt out, and that's when I realized that, hey, maybe this is not for me, or at least right now I don't really know. But you know, it's during that time I kind of fell in love more with the music stuff and the worship side of things. But
well, I remember the church loved you, and the church.
Well, everybody loves me.
Say you did a good job. When those kids are young, that is the hardest. That's the most difficult time of my pastorate, was when the kids were young. It's hard to separate the church and family. And so as I've gotten older, I lean towards family. And so I've come to the conclusion, if somebody's going to be disappointed and upset with me, I'd rather it be somebody in my church than my family. And well, if you're my church, you probably don't like that.
Well, if you can't lead your family, you can't lead a church.
Yeah. So, but it's, so I think I wanted to be a pastor, but then I think there comes a place where, like, sometimes you want to get out and you just can't. It's like when God shows you what you're supposed to be, you just, that's what you do, and you love it. And I do love it. But even when naturally I would want to quit, and I've had those moments, there's something there that just says, I can't.
Too bad.
Cause that's, too bad. That's what I'm gonna, that's who I am. Yeah. But you got into music. Yeah. And so, when did you first learn to play something? Our family, a lot of us in our family have an ear for music. Yeah. You know, but I think you've taken it. I would say you and Lee, y'all both have taken it farther than anybody else.
Quit using our ears, start using our hands.
Do what?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was kind of late starting, really. I didn't really do anything. I remember singing when I was really young. Thank you for Pastor Appreciation.
Yeah, that's supposed to be my song.
Yeah. But I think I was probably 15, 16 when I first started playing the piano. Yeah. Just watching you and trying to teach myself. And when I was at Daystar, I didn't start playing guitar until I was up there. And we had a little band with the worship leaders that was up there. We started. Yeah. And I was playing the keys, and I had this super heavy keyboard. And so I would be dragging that in and out. And the guys walking past me with their guitars on their back. Or I was like, yeah, I'm going to switch to guitar. So I fell in love with the guitar and just leading through guitar. And yeah, it was it's kind of where I was 15, 16, like I said, and it wasn't, and 21, 23 for the guitar for the move there.
Yeah, you definitely play guitar better than anybody in our family. You excel in that, and taking it way past. Remember Papa, he with the electric guitar on the Ain't No Grave, he'd slide up that neck on it. I don't think there was any, there was no, there wasn't a certain chord. He just going up and down that neck. But we got going on that, though. If he ever did that, it was over with. We haven't preaching that day.
That's how we measured a good service, no preaching.
That's right. The best service is no word. But yeah, you've always been like, you can play drums and guitar and piano and probably anything you wanted to pick up, but that just became your deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so you really singing though, you've come a long ways with that too. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't think people think about that. Like, I know there's people that are naturally gifted. I'm not a naturally gifted singer, no matter how. Like, I don't even think if I worked at it, I would be that good at it.
Yeah.
But you're naturally gifted, but you worked hard at it too to do what you do now.
Yeah, I think it's just doing it a lot. And I can just see there's a lot of changes that's happened from when I started doing it to where I am now.
I remember notes you couldn't hit that you hit now without any problem.
It's getting harder to hit those for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it's, and like I said, I was late starting singing too. I didn't really, other when I was a kid, but even when I started playing the piano, I wasn't really singing much. And when I was pastoring, I didn't really sing much. It wasn't really until I came back after I left pastoring, came back to your church, that I kind of and started Steadfast, the greatest band ever out of Alabama.
I remember those pictures of y'all up against that brick wall.
Really. But started singing from then, going back listening to that, my voice is completely different then that it is now. Kind of it's like finding who you are and a lot of stuff, and but yeah, it's I love doing it and writing. I mean, writing songs. I kind of slowed down. I need to get back started on doing some of that, but just
that's
writing.
good. Nobody else in our other Pawpaw wrote some songs.
Donna too.
Donna wrote songs. Oh yeah, I forgot she wrote several songs that were. Yeah, that's true.
That was what's the one sung at her funeral? I almost said the Anchor Holds. That's not it.
Sorry, Ray Bolt.
Yeah, but it was the coolest thing. I sung it there, and then I recorded it for Facebook Live.
Well, I can't remember that song.
I can't think of it.
We'll think of it for.
Yeah, when you go back and edit it, just pop it in there. The name of the song at the bottom of the screen. But there's a part in the song. I was recording it Facebook Live. It was storming outside. But I didn't even realize that. But there's a part that says, though the thunder, something about the thunder or whatever. It's about a wreck, or not a wreck, but waves in the ship, something.
Yeah.
And it says something about the thunder. And as soon as I said that, this big boom, 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 thunder.
Yeah.
And I was like, Donna's
That was Donna.
It was Donna. It was pretty cool. Cool moment.
I can't think of the name of that song. It's driving me crazy now. We sung it all the time. We're getting old.
Yeah.
Forgetful. I remember Pawpaw's Gonna See Jesus. Maybe we'll think of it time.
I keep trying to sing Anchor Holds now. I can't.
Because you're thinking about the storm.
That's it. That's the melody, but I can't think
What's
of it. That's all I remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Somebody's going to be watching this and say,
am I getting paid by the hour?
If y'all remember that.
He will restore your soul.
He will restore your soul. There you go. I was hoping we'd get it. I know how I was going to work.
I was singing it in my head while you were talking.
He will restore your soul. Give you
strength to carry on.
He'll make you whole.
Yeah.
He's the only one. Just get down on your knees.
Call upon the Lord.
Call upon the Lord.
He will restore your soul.
There you go. That's really good.
That's a good song.
That's a very good song. Very good song.
Maybe it said when the storms around you rage.
Yeah.
And then that's when the thunder
that's where you got mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was on Ray Bolt's.
There you go. Well, we take a little joke break here before I ask you the last two questions. Did you hear about the cup that his wife left him?
No.
Yeah, he's a solo cup now.
So did you write that?
I did. I wrote that. No. Sounds like I did. All right, what do you call somebody that gets mad when they don't have any bread? They get mad when they don't have any bread, which is me, by the way. What do you call somebody that gets mad when they don't have any bread? Lactose intolerant.
What has 4 legs and 1 arm?
4 legs and 1 arm. I'm not sure.
A pit bull on its way back from the park.
That was pretty good. That might make some people upset. Last time I brought dogs into the dad jokes, I got in trouble.
Yeah.
But that's okay. No people on the park were hurt during this episode.
Yeah, it's a fake. It's fake.
What advice would you give your 18-year-old self? If you could go back to when you was 18, what advice would you give yourself?
I'm trying to do that now with my son. So he's pretty much me.
You would have listened just about as well as he
Exactly.
is.
That's what I'm saying. If I had a time machine and did this, I wouldn't listen. So it doesn't really matter.
That's true. That's a good point.
You know, save money more.
Yeah.
I would blow it as soon as I got it, and so I didn't save any money. Save money, and I would say, like I said, I was sheltered. I stayed here. I didn't really do anything. We were working gym seat and cooling, and this was what I was going to do. I didn't really chase any dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had any dreams back then, but I would say go see the world.
Yeah.
Travel some, see what everywhere outside of Alabama is like. There's more to the world than Alabama. Travel around.
That's good. That's a good one. That's one of the best things that we did, and it took us halfway through our marriage.
Yeah.
April got up one day and said, why are we going to the beach and the mountains every time?
That's it.
She's like, we're spending basically the same amount of money. Let's go see different places. And that's, I don't know. Well, the kids have validated this, but I think they'll remember those more than they'll remember anything. Things that we got them for Christmas. You just have those memories.
Yeah.
But I think getting out, I'm the same with you. I'm sheltered, born in Anniston, lived in Anniston all my life. Like I'm my son, Oakley. I'm like, I don't know where that came from. Like he's moving to Japan Tuesday. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I don't even he's the opposite of me in that regard. That Japan is crazy.
That's just past Tennessee, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just Well,
I got out of the box and went all the way to
Tennessee and turn left.
I got out of the box and went all the way to Pell City.
That's right. It's where all the uppity people are, Pell City. I did move out of Blue Mountain, so.
Yeah. Well, one time we went all the way to Orlando, and I was sick the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that probably our longest trip growing up was to Orlando.
Well, y'all went to San Francisco and left me at home with Mama.
What?
Or Dallas. Mom,
I
y'all went
don't
to Dallas.
think it was San Francisco.
It was Dallas. Mom went to San Francisco for it, but y'all went to Dallas for something.
For Mom's work or something.
And then I had to stay with Mama.
I do remember going to Dallas.
Yeah. But she didn't make me go to school.
Yeah. You were hard to deal with. Crawling around on your back. We didn't get you out in public much.
Hopefully there's not a Del Taco.
And that limp you had in your hip was just, it was hard to carry around.
That's like my Mephibosheth. I got to sit at the king's table.
All right, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
52. Going on 53. And probably even more handsome.
Where you see yourself right here?
Yeah. Probably even a little more handsome. Probably. That's a tough one. I'm still trying to learn how to take it one day at a time. Yeah. So
that's me too.
Yeah, the Lord said, "Don't worry about tomorrow."
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I don't really have a just whatever God's got. I know the best is yet to come. I'll say that. I believe God's got a plan for me and my family and ministry, and who knows? Maybe I'll pastor again.
Yeah. The best is yet to come. I believe that. It's going to have to hurry up for me.
Yeah, I think you're on the down part.
I am. I'm over the. I'm officially over the. I do not want to live to 90. I just don't. Like 80's iffy.
Yeah,
I'm saying I don't.
That's a long time.
The older I get, the more I'm like, I'm good with the Lord. I'm good with going to see Him whenever you're ready.
Lord. I mean, Paul said, He's ready, but to the Lord's run your race.
That's right. That's right. You got anything else you want to say in closing?
No, I appreciate you letting me come grace your presence.
This has been good. So what I've learned is, because people don't believe I am an introvert, and so I isolate. It pulls energy out of me to be around a lot of people, which is weird since I'm a pastor. But what I've learned, and really the reason I'm doing this, is I think it's more for me. And like me and you've never had this conversation as long
Yeah.
as the conversation I had with Dad, we've never done that. And
Yeah.
so really just having these conversations that someday we can look back on them and, you know, it'll be there.
Well, I think this is probably the most we've talked in a while.
Probably.
Straight, you
Yeah.
know. But
Mhm.
I know one thing I do want to remember, and I want to thank you for, is when we were growing up in Jim Seaton and Coolin, probably riding toward Los Mexicanos or missed our turn or going golfing.
Probably missed a
But
turn.
I remember I used to pick your brain all the time about the Bible, about God's grace. I was hungry, and you were feeding me before you were my pastor. Even you know, I was asking you questions, and you fed a lot of stuff that got me going down the right path, and I really appreciate that. I enjoyed those talks. A lot of times that's probably why I let you miss the turn, because I wanted to talk some more. But it was really good having a big brother that was so close to the Lord. And you don't look like Jesus, but you do. There's a song I wrote about you. When they see you, they see Jesus.
Oh, I do. Yeah, where's that song at? They hadn't made it big yet.
No, it hadn't. That was just for you. It made it big in heaven. Maybe I'll get something when I get up there.
There you go. Well, yeah, this has been fun. I really enjoyed it. And I'm proud of you and where God's, you know, brought you from and taken you to. And I think the best is yet to come for you. I think you're just, one thing I found out is when you get close to 50, I feel like you're just getting into, like, you're really confident about, this is who I am.
Yes.
You know, because when I was 20, even when I started pastoring, I needed to be what everybody wanted me to be.
Yeah.
You know, in the 30s, it was still a little bit, but the older you get, the less you really care what other. That's why old people wear their pants up so high. I do that around the house. I haven't done it in
It
public
feels
yet,
good.
but you just don't care. You're like, this feels good. You know, if you don't like it. But
I ain't got there yet.
You do feel more like you start to get like, this is who I am. You know, it's going to be good for some people, not so good for others. And I'm not going to live up to everybody's expectations, not even mine. But this is who we made. And so
you start tucking your shirt in your underwear yet?
I'll have to try that on. Try that later.
Yeah.
I'll give you an update. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. I love you, brother.
Love you too.
And I appreciate you guys joining us today. We're getting traction. Like, it's hard. Like, YouTube it's tough. Like, to get, you know, and so but we're getting traction on it. And especially our little reels are getting a lot of, yeah, that's mostly the jokes and stuff like that.
Are you getting like 350 people watching it or views?
Something like that.
Well, that's good, because I got 350 house payments. If I get one of everybody just to give one house payment, I can pay it off.
This is why he failed as a pastor. He's one of those money grubbers.
Lock the doors.
We're not stopping this until Justin pays off his mortgage. But no, share these for me. Subscribe to the channel. And at the end of the day, I don't care, because I'm having fun doing it. And so thank you, Justin.
Thanks.
All right, y'all be blessed.
If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who could use a little hope, or at least a decent dad joke. Remember, no matter what you're walking through this week, you are not alone. You are deeply loved, and there is always more grace than you think. Until next time, keep the faith, keep your joy, and keep on laughing.